Well, it's a very good afternoon. Welcome to News Blitz on ZTN. I'm Blessing Munazi. Thanks so much for joining us. Here's a look at our top stories. Experts say growing money supply fueling inflation. Zimbabwe in measles scare. Police warn of rise in keyless car thefts. And in sport, Yada Triangle clash opens a PSL Weekend 13 action. Now, Zimbabwe has, since the beginning of this year, recorded 65 suspected cases of measles amid concerns that the country's immunization coverage has plummeted. According to the Ministry of Health and Childcare, 249 suspected cases were reported in 2021. This comes as the World Health Organization has warned that low immunization coverage could result in the resurgence of these primitive diseases. Countries have been warned not to ignore the urgent need to strengthen routine immunization as they turn all focus to accelerating COVID-19 vaccinations. Since 2020, routine immunization has been negatively impacted by COVID-19 containment measures, and according to the WHO, this has resulted in tens of millions of infants in Africa missing out on essential childhood vaccinations. World Health Organization country representative Dr. Alex Gazasira speaks to ZTN.
This is a worrisome development because we know that once the coverage with immunization comes down, then the risk of outbreaks due to vaccine-preventable diseases increases. So this is very concerning to us. The situation in terms of interruption and disruption of immunization services by the pandemic is not unique to Zimbabwe. This has virtually affected most of the countries in the world, especially our countries in our region of Africa. And so all countries have to make really concerted efforts to step up, to ramp up immunization services to reach more children.
Economic analysts have urged the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe to put a lid on money supply growth, which is contributing to the country's rising inflation and in turn weakening the exchange rate. While authorities have been quick to blame growing global inflationary pressures for the deteriorating economic environment, analysts have pointed to internal factors. According to central bank figures, reserve money increased by 11% to 29.16 billion Zimbabwe dollars compared to 25.9 billion at the beginning of the year. Economist Eddie Cross speaks.
I don't believe that import inflation is the main driver. The main driver, in my view, is two things. One is the increase in money supply at the Reserve Bank. In 2021, money supply increased at the Reserve Bank by 230%. And clearly that is far in excess of the inflation rate for the year. And there's no doubt in my mind that this growth in money supply at the Reserve Bank, which was largely as a result of quasi-fiscal activities, was one of the prime drivers.
This month, year-on-year inflation rose sharply to 96.4%, up from the March figure of 72.7%. Monthly inflation rose to 15.5%, up from 9.5% points from March, and economist Dr. Prosper Chitambara explains.
There are internal factors also that are driving inflation, arising out of the unsustainable money supply growth and also obviously the widening black market premium. So those two internal factors, even before the crisis between Ukraine and Russia, money supply growth was already rising.
Professor Gift Mugano added that excessive money was being channeled to fund construction and agriculture.
We've been advising government that you need to change the form of financing, the model from short-term finance to long-term finance, that is using bonds, as opposed to the funding of roads, dams, using the budget, because that is inflationary and that is also pushing the rates up.
Looking at the past situation, less than 20% of Zimbabwe's rural areas have access to electricity. This was revealed by the country's Energy and Power Development Minister, Jemu Soda, on Thursday. He made the revelations during the $1.5 million energy offer launch hosted by the United Nations Development Programme in Bulawayo.
According to the recent statistics, the country has an electricity penetration rate of 44%. As government, we are not proud of this figure, considering that we have a large number of people, particularly in the rural areas, who lack access to modern energy services.
COVID-19 disrupted many livelihoods in different ways, with many people losing their jobs. In Zimbabwe, as much as the pandemic's effect was felt, it was not as severe as in other African countries. This can be attributed to several factors, including prompt provision of vaccines and enforcement of World Health Organization protocols. However, in Zimbabwe, like in other African countries, mass media influence people's behavior and perceptions in a good way through the provision of accurate information on the pandemic. This happened at a time when the spread of fake news was on the rise. To this end, Media, Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services Minister Monica Mchangwa says locals must be applauded.
You are in the forefront in making sure that the people of this country know where to be vaccinated. They should know who should be vaccinated. They should know the protocols to prevent this pandemic. This has been done by you. A research was done in this country, and it attests to the fact that more than 98% of Zimbabweans are aware of all the protocols of the preventative and precautionary measures to avoid this pandemic, which could have killed a lot of people.
Okay, we take you to Zimbabwe's second largest city, Bulawayo, where the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair is ongoing. And one of the trade fair's major attractions every year is cattle. This year is not any different. Cold storage company Boosted Beef consultant Reginald Choko says this year's quality of cattle is outstanding.
The breed and pedigrees that are there, they are good. They show a positive sign in terms of the national health development, because the calving rates that we're seeing in these animals is serious. Although many people have expected to see more animals during the show, but at this moment I think we need to be looking at the quality of what we have, rather than having a lot of animals of poor quality.
Our correspondent, Tsepo Kabo, spoke to cattle ranchers at the Business Expo.
Compared to last period, I'm a bit impressed with what we are seeing here. These are good breed.
Lonyaka e-trade fair lapha hayi inkomo khanya ziphansi zindutshwana kakhulu inamba yezinkomo. Kungenxa yokuthi khona kube lo mkhuhlane okhona lonyaka kule mkhuhlane ezinkomeni, i-foot and mouth, olampu skin, sithwele nzima kakhulu lonyaka. Ikakhulu kithi khona le matopo kwa 24 hayi kulobuzima bezinkomo imkhuhlane hayi sihlasele kakhulu.
Sikhangelela ukuthi lonyaka njengoba isivuno sethu lesi sokudla sibe silutshwani, but isivuno sethu senkomo ungani sikhonyanyana. Then besikhangele siku trade fair sizobona imbuku isemnenge echiyeneyo, lezi nyamazana zonke zethu ezilazo lapha e-trade fair.
Many thanks to our correspondent Tsepo Kabo bringing us those visuals from the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair, currently happening in Zimbabwe's second largest city of Bulawayo. It's the 62nd edition, and Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Mnangagwa is expected to officially open the expo any minute from now. Now we move to Gweru, where the City Council in Zimbabwe's Midlands Province has resolved to charge 5% interest on all defaulting accounts, and the resolution was made during a full council meeting earlier this week. The city spokesperson, Vimbai Chingwaramuse, confirmed the resolution to enforce the extra charge on all debts, which he said was meant to hedge council revenue against inflation.
So we're charging 5% interest per annum. Why we're doing this is to preserve value of the money and to also induce debtors to pay their bills. So that's as a local authority, we've been finding out that now when people pay, the money does not have any value. So adding the 5% per annum actually preserves the value.
Residents acknowledge the move but say the council must make an effort to improve service delivery.
Our major challenge is that why are you levying us the 5% if you are not providing the services? So we are saying the same appetite that they have in terms of collection, or the same appetite that they have in terms of trying to levy us the 5%, is the same appetite that they should also exhibit in terms of giving us the services that we want. So we are actually saying to them, okay, fine, if it's provided for, you also then need to make sure that you give us the services that we want, so that there is some kind of a balancing act.
Well, shifting to health, many believe that the moment a mother gives birth to a healthy baby, there won't be anything to worry about, as all possibilities of complications will be over. Unfortunately, this is not the case for many women in Zimbabwe who suffer from one of the most devastating injuries in childbirth called obstetric fistula. This is a life-changing birth injury caused by prolonged or obstructed labor. The World Health Organization estimates that globally between 50,000 and 100,000 women suffer from this condition, with more than 90% of the cases prevalent in developing countries. Zetien spoke to Care Reproductive Officer in the Ministry of Health and Childcare, who explained the nature of this condition.
Obstetric fistula is a medical condition in which a hole develops in the birth canal as a result of prolonged obstructed labor. The hole, which is termed fistula, can be between the vagina and the rectum, the vagina and the ureter, the vagina and the bladder, and this leaves the woman with continuous urinary or fecal incontinence. Obstetric fistula is one of the most devastating injuries of childbirth. Women with fistula are usually abandoned and neglected by their partners and stigmatized by their communities. And these women mostly suffer in silence.
We spoke to a survivor who shared her ordeal with the condition.
When I got home, I felt if I try to stand up, I would feel that there was just something something is not right. You don't even need to just come out today.
Well, some good news. The Ministry of Health and Childcare is currently running a program together with its partners in offering free surgery to women who are suffering from this condition.
The Ministry of Health and Childcare, with support from partners, have been providing free surgeries for women with fistula since 2015. The obstetric fistula repair program has benefited up to more than 800 women. These women are repaired for free with a success rate of more than 90% of the surgeries.
Environment and Wildlife Ministers from Africa will in May convene in Hwange for an inaugural Elephants Conference ahead of a CITES meeting that is due to be held in November in Panama this year. Zimbabwe is concerned that Southern Africa hosts half of the 400,000 elephant population that is left in the world, but major decisions on wildlife governance are often made by countries without wildlife. Next month's conference is a platform for African countries to come up with a position on elephant management before the international conference. Zimbabwe is currently sitting on about 100 tons of ivory worth close to $500 million United States dollars, which can be traded because of international laws. Our reporter Sharon Munjenjaba spoke to the Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority spokesperson Hatinashe Farao.
We hope to achieve four main objectives: to build consensus amongst African countries, so that when we speak about conservation, we speak with one voice as a continent. Of the remaining 400,000 elephants, more than half of those are found in Southern Africa. So it's very important for Southern Africa to come up with a position on what to do with our elephant conservation. So that's number one. That's what I want to attend. We want to take stock of our successes and our failures over the years. The problems of poaching, the problems of conservation, habitat loss, climate change. What is it that we need to do so that at least we can look after our most important asset, which is wildlife?
In our crime watch, police in Zimbabwe's capital Harare are fretting over a surge in motor vehicle thefts. This week alone, Harare recorded 6 cases of theft from motor vehicles and theft of motor vehicles by a syndicate of thieves that are believed to be using signal jammers to disable vehicle central locking systems and tracking sensors. On Wednesday, a Harare man lost his vehicle at a Steelmate company premises to thieves who stole the vehicle while he was inside the shop. Acting Harare Provincial Police spokesperson, Assistant Inspector Webster Jova, speaks to ZTN.
Zimbabwe Republic Police Harare Province is noting with concern cases of theft from motor vehicles which are happening in the Central Business District. Our message is that drivers should always make sure that they do not leave any valuables inside their cars whenever they are parking in the Central Business District or even at home. These valuables attract thieves who in turn then break into the vehicles to steal these valuables. On the same note, we continue receiving cases of theft of motor vehicles. A recent case is whereby one driver left their Nissan Caravan on registration number AEQ 5080, grey in color, inside the premises of the company they wanted to transact with. The driver left the car idling, and on returning after a few minutes, he found the car gone.
We take you to Kenya, where a state funeral service is being held today for former Kenyan President Mwai Kibaki, who died a week ago at the age of 90. Several African presidents and other global dignitaries are attending, with Zimbabwe's Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa and Salva Kiir of South Sudan in attendance. A 77-year-old South African farmer accused of shooting a couple he claimed he thought were hippos was released on 1,000 rand bail. Limpopo police spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Mampaswa Seabi said Paul Hendricks appeared in the Lephalale Magistrates Court and his case was postponed to May 18 for investigations. In Rwanda, a court has sentenced a Muslim cleric to 5 years in prison for killing a pig in a mosque. 3 witnesses told the court that they saw the Imam, Sadate Musengimana, beating the pig with a piece of wood, killing it on the spot. His lawyer says he killed the animal accidentally with a stick when he tried to chase it away from the mosque in the Kanyonzo district in the east of the country back in February. A fictosexual Japanese man who married a hologram in 2018 recently told a Japanese newspaper that their relationship is struggling with communication. Akihiko Kondo, aged 38, who works at a middle school in a Tokyo suburb, married Hatsune Miku, a hologram that was created by a computer as singing software in 2018 in a wedding that cost more than 17,000 United States dollars. Now, in the arts, he has been in the mainstream music circles for close to a decade, but one thing Silent Ngor fans have been begging for in recent years is an album, and finally, it is here. On the 1st of May, the guitar Sangoma will drop his debut album titled Silent Treatment with a concert in the capital Harare. Tako Chambakwe joins us live from D28 Studios, where Silent is rehearsing.
Well, good afternoon. We're here at D28 Studios in Avondale, Harare, where we're just going to barge into Silent Ngor's rehearsals. This is one of his final rehearsals before he launches his debut album, Silent Treatment, on the 1st of May. That is this coming Monday at number 2 Canterbury, right here in the capital. The lad has been performing since back in the days of the Book Cafe, you know, playing to empty spaces, but now he's able to pull crowds, and we're just going to jump into his rehearsal and we're going to speak to him ahead of his debut album launch. So come along. Hey. Bravo! Silent, it's your first album.
Yeah.
We've been seeing you playing since back in the day, 2013, 14, Book Cafe. And yeah, dropped a couple of singles along the way. And today you're dropping your first album, Silent Treatment. How are you feeling?
Excited. It's been long overdue. Really, it's just, for me, it's more, I've been working on everyone's music but mine. So it's now time to just give a piece of me through music.
What can people expect when they come through on Monday, Workers' Day, they're chilling? What can they expect when they come out?
Honesty, like actual honesty and authenticity through music. I'm not doing it for anyone else but me, and then, sharing it with everyone else is just for them to understand me more, because I don't have to talk, and that's the talking for me.
So tell us about the collaborations. We've seen amazing artists here. Trust from Mukomba just walked out. I guess he's rushing somewhere. Chiweda, Blau, the lovely ladies, man, the percussionist. Tell us about how you've managed to fuse the relationships you've been gathering over the years into this project.
Everyone in this room I have a personal relationship with. You know what I mean? I met the two girls just recently, but I knew about them as well. But everyone else in the band I've known for a while, So it was about chemistry firstly, and then just, when you immerse yourself in the craft, the right people come. It was fate that brought us here. Yeah.
So indeed, Wazu Aripano, as you can see, these guys are ready to dazzle you on Monday. So get ready, buy the tickets, and come and enjoy yourselves. Play us out Sunday, actually. Sunday. Come and enjoy with your loved ones and your friends and families. So play us out with something nice, Silent.
Many thanks, Taku Chambakwe, for that update. I must say, interesting name for the album, Silent Treatment. Coming up next is Week 13 action of the Kasalaga Premier Soccer League. That and more in sports news coming up next.
Zimbabwe is holding a population and housing census.
Census night is on the 20th of April, and the counting dates are from the 21st to the 30th of April 2022.
Everybody make sure to be counted. Wonkumuntu one by one. Sibalwe emajele mame esibedlela enlos nemaroja and the homeless too. There's all our souls beating male or female. Sange takano veremwa josungisa kunyepera bezimstat.
Avoid scams. Zimstat will never ask for your identification number, your bank account, money, or donations.
Information collected is private and confidential.
This message is brought to you by Zimstat. Be sure to be counted.
Well, sports news on a Friday. We start with football. It's match day 13 of the Kasalaga Premier Soccer League, and the action kicks off this afternoon with Yada, the Miracle Boys, taking on Sugar Boys Triangle at the National Sports Stadium. We are crossing over now to Chido Chashemanua for an update on that match. Chido, what's there to look forward to?
Yes, I am here at the National Sports Stadium where the action is going to be taking place soon. While looking at the odds for both teams going into this match, it's looking like it's going to be quite a tense one. Some may even say an awkward match. Well, this is because coach for Triangle United, Jairo Sitapera, is going against his former pay masters. He once coached Yada, so this means that he is quite familiar with how Yada plays, and so this is quite an advantage for Triangle going into this match. Additionally, Triangle has been doing very, very well. I mean, just last week they had a 2-1 victory over Giants Caps United, which placed them on the third position on the log, and they're just 3 points away from the Pacemakers, Dynamos, and Chicken Inn. And as for Yada going into this game, they're not looking so good, but they too had a very good victory just last week. They beat 10X 3-1. However, they only have almost half the points that Triangle hold right now, and they're currently 15th on the log. But this is a game of football. Who knows how it is going to go? But we're going to be giving you all this action live right here on Zim Papers Television Network. Be sure to also tune in tomorrow, as we will be giving you Herentals taking on FC Platinum Stars right here at the National Sports Stadium.
Many thanks for that, Chido. Like she did highlight, Casablanca Premier League action continues tomorrow, and defending champions FC Platinum are in town. A pure Platinum player up against Herentals in their first match after the Mandawa crowd trouble match last week. FC Platinum coach Numen Mapeza, however, says the Highlanders match disturbance had little impact on his side's mindset for this season.
It's not going to be an easy game for us, but you know what is important is for us to go there with a positive mindset. You know, we need to go there with the same mentality, with the same attitude, which we showed against last Saturday.
And now in cricket, Zimbabwe 11 need 288 runs for victory in the third and final unofficial ODI. That's against South Africa A. This is happening at the Harare Sports Club. Half centuries by Tony Dizorzi and Kaya Zondo helped the visitors post 287 for 9 in their allotted 50 overs. Left-arm orthodox spinner Wellington Masakaza took 4 wickets, and seamer Tanaka Chivanga picked 3 wickets to help Zimbabwe restrict South Africa A to a sub-300 score. Now, the winner of this match will claim the series, which is currently tied 1-1. That does it for the ZTN News Blitz this afternoon. Thanks so much for making us your choice. Remember, you can connect with us on our social media platforms. On Twitter, it's at ZTN News. On Instagram and YouTube, it's at ZTN. Or you can visit our website, ztn.co.zw. Don't go away. World in 5 is coming up next.